Couture here, and today we're going to be talking about a subject that I hold close to my heart, and it's about being an empath. And if you don't know what an empath is, Webster's dictionary classifies it as one who experiences emotions of others. And I know, don't run away. I know it's kind of crazy. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's absolutely not crazy at all. And if you're someone who feels like you are an empath, I think this video is for you, because I know a lot of us, we feel alone because we don't really know those who are empaths. And it can be a lonely world, but hey, there's a lot of us out there. So I want to talk about growing up, not knowing exactly what was going on with my emotions. Oftentimes, whenever I was in a room full of crowded people, and I would be happy, I would wonder why all of a sudden I felt sad, and I felt all this rush of millions of emotions. I didn't know what was going on with myself. I thought I was weird. I thought I was crazy, but I wasn't. And I'll talk about that later, about how I found out that I wasn't. But being a child and experiencing so many different emotions at one time was very frightening. I didn't know what was going on, and oftentimes I felt so alone, like no one understood what I was going through. No one understood, my emotions, what I was feeling. And I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anyone what I was feeling, that I was constantly feeling sad and happy and excited, and I didn't know why. And it was really scary, because I already had my heart disease going on. I had asthma, and I had fainting spells when I was 16, and I was just really afraid, that someone wasn't going to believe me, or that they did believe me, and they just didn't know how to deal with me, because they didn't know how to deal with my heart disease as it was. So when I did find out that I was an empath, I was living in Salt Lake City. I was 24. I had just moved there in 2007. So I was exploring different spiritualities and different religions to see what fits best with me and what I believe and what I feel is true to myself. And I was Mormon for about 3 months. It didn't work for me. I was an artist. I was someone who wanted to create without boundaries. And so the Mormon religion did not work for me. It may work for other people or other empaths, but for me and my personal choice, it just wasn't a great fit. And I explored other religions like Buddhism and Hinduism, and those also did not work for me, because I just don't feel like I'm a person that does not want to get put into a box and being told what I am. But I know I am an empath, and I decided to read books on emotions and feelings. I can't think of any, none come to mind because it was about 12 years ago, so I don't remember the titles, I'm sorry. But I found out that I was an empath by exploring spirituality and just reading about, what I was going through. And once I found out that I was an empath and that I can have the ability to take on the emotions of others, a whole new world opened up for me, just like it might for you, if you are an empath, or, might think you might be an empath. But I don't regret doing the studies. I don't regret my empathic abilities, because here's the thing. Everybody has the ability to be an empath. We're all born with that ability. We're all born with the ability to feel other people's feelings. It's not exactly like being in other people's shoes, but it's like feeling what they feel. And let me give you an example. If someone has a relative that passed away, I might not show any direct emotion towards that person, because I tend to not show my emotions that often, or at least I try not to, because when I do show my own emotions, it is very overwhelming. But if I know someone who's had a relative that passed away, their emotions, if they bottle them up, I will feel those emotions, those deep down, sorrowful, sad, mourning emotions. They'll come out through me, and they'll wonder why I'm emotional. It's not because I feel bad for the person who passed away. It's because you feel bad for the person who passed away. They meant a lot to you, and your emotions are coming out of me. That's what being an empath is for me. That's how I experience other people's emotions. Even if they don't know they're feeling those emotions, they'll come out of me. It's weird. It's kind of like being a fountain for someone else's emotions if they're afraid. And it's pretty cool because you can become like a human lie detector test. No one can really lie to you when you're an empath because you know exactly what's going on internally with them. It's not being a psychic. I'm not a mind reader. I'm just someone who feels others' emotions and they come out. And exploring those emotions or exploring being an empath, I have discovered that I've got a whole plethora of other gifts, I guess they're called, or emotions, or a whole plethora of other abilities. If I say abilities, it sounds like I'm a superhero, but I'm not a superhero. I'm just a person who feels others' emotions and have other gifts that I have explored in the past, and I really do like. But I don't really explore them today because they still kind of freak me out a little bit, and I'm not going to mention them, and I'm probably never going to mention them on video. But being an empath for me has been an amazing experience, just like I hope it's being an amazing experience for you. It might be scary at first, like I said. You might not know what's going on, and you might not know what's happening to your emotions. So don't be afraid to just reach out to someone that you know, or just read about it. If you're afraid to reach out to someone, Google what you're going through and try to find some resources to read about it, like I did, because it really did help me. And I just wanted to let you know that if you ever feel like you're alone in the world, you're not. There are millions of empaths. There are millions of people who experience the emotions of others. And it's a great thing. It's a wonderful thing when you can experience other people's emotions because you never want to hurt someone else because you will know exactly what they're feeling. You always want to be a kind person to other people because of that. And that is one of the biggest benefits to being an empath that I've learned. Me, I've never really wanted to hurt anyone else's feelings, ever, that I know of. I am not a person that seeks out vengeance. I am not a person that goes after the jugular, and trying to hurt people's feelings. That is not me. And I've never been that way, even before I figured out that I was an empath. I am just not a person that wants to hurt people. But being an empath has definitely magnified that feeling times 1,000. All I want to do is good in the world. All I want to do is see people happy. Not because it makes me happy and I feel their happiness, but just because I just want people to be happy. And being an empath has magnified that times 1,000. And it's made me a more happier person being an empath. So that's today's video. I love you guys. Don't be afraid of your abilities. If you are afraid, don't be afraid. Because odds are there are millions of people out there just like you. And they are just as afraid as you are. Alright, this is Katura signing off for another YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Please feel free to subscribe. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and we can have a conversation about it. Even if you don't want to subscribe, we can still have a conversation about it in the comments. No pressure. Alright, I love you guys. Namaste. Peace out. Have a great day. Love ya. Bye.